What's up, guys? It's Vegan9 and welcome to another Nintendo Direct prediction video because a Nintendo Direct was just announced. It's happening Friday, September 12th, and it's a general. We haven't had a general Direct in quite some time. When was the last one? It was like the end of March, and it was for the Switch One. But we didn't get, our typical February general. We didn't get our typical June general. So here we are in September, finally getting our general Direct in the era of Switch 2. So I'm here to make some predictions on what I think we could see, trying to be as realistic as possible. Hidden surprise and shit in there. But yeah, let's get into it. Prediction 1, here we go. I think the Direct will start with some kind of Pokemon, not mainline. Let me just say that. Not Legends ZA news, no like new generation remakes. I actually think this is gonna be like spin-off. Now, what could this smaller title be? I'm thinking something along the lines of like Pokemon Stadium, Coliseum, Pokken Tournament could make a comeback, or the coolest thing I think it could be is a new Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. I think that would be really cool. I think we saw that rumored years ago because the developer was listed on a website or something. But yeah, I don't know. I think it could be time. Nothing mainline. Legends ZA is going to come out this October, and I don't think it's time for Gen 10 at all. So yeah, maybe a spin-off, like something happening, in the first half of the year, like, that's springtime for 2026. So something teased, Pokemon spin-off. All right, for these next couple ones, let's just kind of get a little basic and simple. New NSO or Nintendo Classic games, specifically GameCube. They obviously talked about ones that were on the horizon. I think we'll get some release dates for some, and we'll maybe get a couple more surprises or a batch of other ones coming in the future. There's Luigi's Mansion. Maybe that can come out in time for Halloween. Who knows? But yeah, simple one, just new stuff coming to NSO, expansion pack, subscription. For this next one, the card's a little bit misleading, but I'm referring to more Nintendo Switch 2 edition games. Obviously, we have quite a few. We have, the Zelda series, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Mario Party Jamboree, Kirby and the Forgotten Land just got its cool, like, Switch 2 edition, which really kind of adds a lot of cool DLC. I think we can get another wave of that. Either like smaller like updates for Switch 2 editions, like stuff that really needs that, games that really need that rather. I don't know, what could we get, like Bayonetta 3, Pikmin 4 could be a cool one. And you can do that plus thing. See how Mario Party Jamboree has Switch 2 edition plus Jamboree TV? We can get like Pikmin 4 plus other side adventure, or like one that I think would be really cool, Mario and Luigi Brothership, which I'm currently playing through. Mario and Luigi Brothership plus other side adventure. I think that'd be really cool. So Switch 2 editions on their own, like, I don't think they full on take the place of a brand new game announcement, but they are something. They're like really cool glorified DLC. So I think we could get a few more of those because they really did highlight the existence of Switch 2 edition games in that April Switch 2 Direct. That I really don't think it was going to be one batch and done. I think it's going to be a consistent thing for the next couple years. So I think we'll see some more here. Next prediction, Splatoon Raiders. We saw this game teased, I can't remember when, a couple months ago, but I think we can get some more information out of this. No release date or anything like that, but maybe a little look at what the story is, what kind of game this is. I'm assuming it's some kind of like really heavily focused single player campaign. So maybe we'll look at what that is, the storyline, and I don't think we're getting a hard release date. Maybe just 2026. Just put the date 2026 out there. Maybe if we're lucky, we get a season like summer 2026. But for now, just some more information on what this game is. Still technically a tease of the game, but a little bit more than just the initial reveal. That could be here for sure. For this next little wave of predictions, I'm kind of going to go in the third-party route. Let me just be clear, I don't know much about these games I'm going to really be talking about, but, they've either previously been announced or there's a lot of speculation about them being announced, so I'll touch on them and actually predict them. Elden Ring Tarnished Edition, we don't have a release date for that. It is, I think it's claimed that it should be out for 2025, so I think we definitely need a release date for that. Mind you, if they showed it off in the Switch 2 presentation in April, it'd be really weird if it did not come out this year. So I think we'll definitely get a release date for that. Maybe a bit more look at the gameplay. Not that we really need it. Everyone knows what Elden Ring looks like. So yeah, probably just a release date trailer for that. All right, moving on to something that we don't really know about. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard coming to the Switch 2, getting its own Switch 2 edition. The game is available to play on Nintendo Switch as a cloud version, but we all know how cloud version games work. They're not the greatest. So yeah, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard for Switch 2. Why am I predicting this? There's a leaker, Switchforce, who's made some claims about games in this direct having to do with the number 7. Like there's 3 big hitter games that have something to do with the number 7. So I've seen a lot of speculation of Resident Evil 7, a lot of insiders, leakers, journalists heavily teasing that. So I'm going to go out and say that, yeah, we can get Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, which I actually am familiar with that game. I haven't played it, but I did watch Let's Plays of it, so I am aware of the story, Ethan Winters and all that. So yeah, that would be cool to get on Switch 2, and it could be a little bit of a test to see how people would react to Resident Evil on the Switch 2 console. Because maybe we can get Resident Evil Village. That was a good game as well. And then maybe the new upcoming Resident Evil Requiem. So that could be cool. It could be a little stepping stone to the build-up of Resident Evil just being, same day as the other platforms, but also coming to the Switch 2 as well. So that would be really cool. So yeah. Next up, I thought we've been seeing this for a long time. A lot of speculation, a lot of rumors, but I think now would be a good time considering it's the Switch 2. Red Dead Redemption 2. I have not played this series at all. Nothing against it. I heard it's really good. I've seen some gameplay. It looks really good. But yeah, I think we can get Red Dead Redemption 2. Rockstar showing some love for the Nintendo Switch 2 early on in its life cycle. Yeah, quick port. We've seen it rumored for a while, and I think it should come out. So yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2. I can't talk much about these guys. Like I said, I don't know the games that well, so yeah, I'll just say Red Dead Redemption 2 and I'll move on. Having to do with this whole 7 theory again. Final Fantasy 7 Remake Intergrade. This was at the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct back in April. The developers said, yep, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it for Switch 2. But we don't have a release date. I think we'll get a release date. And I think this is honestly one of the best looking games on Switch 2 right now, based on what I've seen. It looks really good. So yeah, give the fans a release date. A lot of this direct is gonna be like getting release dates for stuff we don't know. I feel like that's the main news. We'll get into that a little bit more in this video. But yeah, Final Fantasy Remake Intergrade. Release date, maybe some new gameplay, how it's running on Switch 2, how it looks in handheld mode. Yeah, but the main thing is a release date for that game. Maybe seasonal. I don't know if we'll get a direct one, but maybe it's like summer 2026, spring 2026, whatever it's gonna end up being. But yeah, there we go. Back into the territory that I know, Tomodachi Life, Living the Dream. This was announced back in March of this year for the Nintendo Switch. Of course, it will also come out for Switch 2. Will it get a Switch 2 edition? I don't know, but it's coming out on Switch. It'll play on Switch 2. We know backwards compatibility, all that jazz is gonna work. But yeah, Tomodachi Life, Living the Dream, dude. Tomodachi Life is it's niche, quote unquote, but it's got a huge fan base, including me. I love Tomodachi Life. I love that on 3DS. So I was super excited when I saw this announced at that General Direct back at the end of March. So yeah, I think we get another look at it. Maybe a seasonal release date, maybe not the exact release date. Mind you, I do think Tomodachi Life should come out, in like the spring or summer. I can't see Tomodachi Life Living the Dream coming out in fall or winter. So I definitely think it's something to be slated for like, March, April, May, June, July 2026. So yeah, I think we'll get another look here. We'll get a look at some features, other stuff. Because remember, we got to keep Nintendo Switch fans, the OG Switch, we got to keep those fans happy. If they don't have a Switch 2 yet, you got to give them something to look forward to. So this is one game. This is a heavy hitter game for 2026 for the original Switch. And it deserves some love. So I think we're going to get some new looks here and a seasonal release date. All right, here, you see Samus, you see Metroid. So what am I predicting here? I've been predicting this for a while now, but I really do believe in it. Metroid Prime 2 and 3 ports, and I dare I say, shadow drop. I think we could see them shadow drop. Now, what do I think these ports are going to be? I do not think they're going to be at that level of Metroid Prime Remastered. They're not going to look that good. They're not going to look that crisp and like amazing, like overhaul. They're going to be to the same extent. If you remember, before Pikmin 4 came out, we got this shadow drop of Pikmin 1 and 2 like ports, like just slightly upscaled running on the Switch, but both of those games together, you were able to get them on eShop and then a physical version like a few weeks later. I think that's what this is going to be. Prime 2 and 3, not full-on remakes, just simple ports, you know, up the frame rate, up-res it a little, boom, there it is running. And I think that can be for Switch 1 and Switch 2. So yeah, Metroid Prime 2 and 3, and dare I say Shadow Drop. Now staying on the topic of Metroid, here it is. This is a huge announcement. This is like a huge reason this Direct is even happening in the first place. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. We are finally going to get the release date. I mean, it'd be really weird if we did not get the release date. I will be flabbergasted if this thing does not specifically outright say the day that Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is going to release. Metroid fans, I feel you. You've been waiting for this game for so long, and even though we've been getting looks, you still have no idea when this game is coming out. Now, it has been stated over and over and over again, and at all these investor meetings held by Nintendo, that yes, it is still slated for 2025. It is mid-September. We need a release date. So yeah, I think we're going to get that release date. When? I mean, October or November is my best guess. I don't know when. I'll say maybe like the mid to end of October, early November. Definitely before Black Friday, obviously. But yeah, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, huge trailer, maybe showing off something new. And the release date. This is going to be a huge headline there. That's going to be like one of those Fade to Black, or the guy says, all right, now let's take a look at this. And then, you know, huge cutscene, and it's Metroid Prime 4. This is huge. This is going to be a huge game. This is a whole reason this Direct, not the reason the Direct is happening, but obviously one of the heaviest hitting announcements of the Direct, because we really need a release date on this game. It's something new here. Kirby Planet Robobot. I've seen Nate the Hate predict this, or claim that this was coming to Nintendo Switch 1 for a while now. So I think it's time. Remember, Switch 1 still needs love, still needs some games. It can't all be Switch 2. We gotta support the Nintendo Switch 1. But I mean, in doing so, you're also getting a game that plays on your Nintendo Switch 2. Kirby Planet Robobot. Now, it might seem crazy that I'm predicting this. Why? Because we just got, for Switch 2, the Kirby and the Forgotten Land DLC. I forgot. Starcrossed Worlds, is that what it's called? Yeah, that like DLC for the Switch 2 edition of Kirby and the Forgotten Land. We're getting Kirby Air Riders later this year as well. So, oh my god, more Kirby? Why is he predicting more Kirby? Keep in mind, those two games I just stated, those are Switch 2. The Switch 1 doesn't have a Kirby release at the moment. So I think Kirby Planet Robobot, and we've seen Kirby games previously come out in the first half of the year. I believe that was the case with Kirby and the Forgotten Land. That came out in spring. And then Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, that was also earlier in the year. So I think Kirby Planet Robobot remake would be really fun, really good, and it would come out early in the year as well. You know, January, February, or March. One of those months. For Switch 1 and Switch 2. But by saying Switch 1, it's also coming to Switch 2, but definitely for Switch 1. It's not going to be exclusive to Switch 2. Moving on, we got Mario Kart World DLC. Yeah, this last segment here, I'll just preface, I think is all like linked to Mario. Because this Direct is happening on the Friday, the day before Mario's 40th anniversary, there's going to be some segment dedicated to Mario's 40th anniversary. Like, it's a huge blowout of just Mario announcements. So I think that's what I'm dedicating this last row for. All this is going to have to do with the Mario franchise in some way, shape, or form. So yeah, Mario Kart World DLC, new character costumes, new knockout tours, I don't know, new battle modes, something. But yeah, there's definitely more that can be had with this game. They can easily add costumes from, like, you know, Donkey Kong Bonanza or something like that. And yeah, it'd be weird if they didn't add more stuff to support this game, because this is probably going to be the game that is one of the most supported throughout the Switch 2's life cycle. And we can start early right now, because a lot of people are kind of dropping off of this game right now. They've had their fun. They need to feel enticed to get back in. So I think DLC is a great way to do that. So yeah, Mario Kart World DLC, simple prediction, and I think we'll get it. Now, is it free or is it paid? I don't know, but just DLC in some capacity. All right, we're gonna have a little bit of a fun one here. This is one I thought of myself. But in light of Mario's 40th anniversary, Captain Toad, that fits. Captain Toad could fit. That can be a bit of a game that, has to do loosely with Mario. I mean, it is the Mushroom Kingdom after all. But yeah, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, a new one for the Nintendo Switch 2. It's been a long time since the last one came out. I don't remember when it did. I don't have it, so yeah. But new Captain Toad for Switch 2 would be really fun because mouse controls on the Switch 2. Dude, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker making use of mouse controls would be really fun. Obviously, the puzzles could be more intricate. You can have a lot more assets on the screen because it's Switch 2. But then the mouse controls, that would be really fun. So yeah, new Captain Toad. Moving on, Super Mario Galaxy 2. Now, before I get into talking about Mario Galaxy 2, let me say this. A small part of me believes they might re-release Super Mario 3D All-Stars. I don't know how, if it's going to be eShop exclusive, if they're going to just full-on re-release it, and then maybe re-release it as a Switch 2 edition with Galaxy 2. I don't know. But let me just, ignoring that, talk about a re-release of 3D All-Stars. Galaxy 2. Galaxy 2, we will be able to play in some way, shape, or form. Both on Switch 1 and Switch 2. So yeah, whether it's standalone or like eShop exclusive or part of a re-release of 3D All-Stars, I don't know. But Galaxy 2, I think it would be really fun because how are we gonna get Galaxy 1, available, with 3D All-Stars, but not have Galaxy 2? It was so weird to me that they did not include Galaxy 2. I can totally see Nintendo releasing this as its own standalone game. Reason for this, we got Luigi's Mansion 2 HD just as its own standalone release. It wasn't tied with like Luigi's Mansion 1 and 2 double pack. It was its own standalone game. Luigi's Mansion 1 is not available as its own standalone game on the Nintendo Switch family of systems. The only way to play that will be through NSO when it comes out to the GameCube. So you have Luigi's Mansion 2 physical, and then you have Luigi's Mansion 3 physical, their own standalone releases. So I wouldn't put it past Nintendo to release Super Mario Galaxy 2 as its own standalone title. It's not tied to Galaxy 1, it's not a double pack, it's its own standalone thing. So yeah, I don't know how they're gonna release it, what the method of playing it is going to be, but Super Mario Galaxy 2, I think that's the game that's gonna kind of be the celebratory game for now for this anniversary. I'll also say this, I think it's gonna come out soon. It could come out this month in September, in a few weeks after this presentation. Dare I say Shadow? I don't know if it's gonna be Shadow dropped. But yeah, I think it would come out soon. It would come out this year, for sure. So September, early October, I don't know. But yeah, it would come out really soon. And for my final prediction, I'm not referring to the Mario Bros. Movie, although that could be here. New 3D Mario tease. This is gonna be the one more thing. A tease of the new 3D Mario game slated for 2026. That's all we're gonna get. 2026, and then a look at the 3D Mario, just tease. Mario walking out, jumping around a vast open area, and it's 3D Mario, and the title, whatever the title is gonna be. So yeah, just a tease. This is the one more thing. We're not gonna get a huge look at it. Just this quick 30-second teaser of a new 3D Mario game, the game that succeeds Mario Odyssey. Now, I'm not saying it's necessarily Odyssey 2, but it is the next step after Odyssey. This isn't 3D Land, 3D World. This is the next big thing after Odyssey that we will see teased and will come out in 2026. A perfect way to end the batch of headlines highlighting Mario's 40th anniversary, and probably the most anticipated game for me this Switch 2 generation. So a new 3D Mario will be teased, slated for 2026. No seasonal release date. at all. I don't think we'll get more information about it until like, you know, summer of next year. But a tease of the new 3D Mario, which would come out probably holiday 2026. So yeah, there we go. Those are all the predictions. So what do you guys think about them? I think they're pretty realistic this time around. But what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below. I'm super excited for this Nintendo Direct. Super excited to be watching a General Direct again. And super excited to see what Nintendo has in store for both Switch 1 and Switch 2. But that's going to wrap things up for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and hit the bell for notifications. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys later.